Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's Kaila'S Vanity, and today you're going to see me try watercolors for the very first time. This is a 48 color suit watercolor set. So as you can see, here are the paints, and here I just did regular practice, made myself a swatch sheet so that I know what I'm working with. The set comes with a water brush. Like as you can see, you can kind of squeeze water from the actual brush itself and blend with the tip of the brush. The brush is okay. It doesn't fray much, but it's also kind of hard to be precise with it because of the way the bristles are. It comes with another paintbrush as well. It comes with a pencil, it comes with an eraser, as well as a sponge, I believe that is. I'll obviously have it linked down below. This got suggested to me on Amazon because I always browse in the art supply section of Amazon. I can't help myself, but it got suggested to me, and I believe I liked it, and then it was on sale for 10 bucks, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I just get it? I never really saw myself as a watercolor type person just because of my severely low patience level. I prefer to have acrylics or markers or something like that that dries within seconds, basically. With watercolor, you kind of have to wait between each layer for it to dry. These, I was doing very, very thin layers, but I also was using a lot of water. But I myself was working pretty slow because I didn't know what I was doing. So honestly, by the time, like, I only have to wait a couple minutes in between each coat, which it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as dreadful as I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, my approach was I laid on a wash of just water, and then I went in with color, and this really helped me blend. And I also did the approach of many layers. As you can see, you just saw that I did the first layer of the shoulders, and then eventually I'm gonna build it up to what the face is looking like right now. So lots and lots of layering. So yeah, I am here to tell you guys about my experience. This is not a tutorial, this is not a review. I'm just here to show you guys my very first time using watercolor. Like I said, it's my first time, so ask me what I'm doing, I'm gonna say I don't know. So I kind of just watched a few videos before I got here in the mail, kind of picked up some tips as best as I could, and then just went in with guns blazing, kind of just doing what I do. So first I went in with like a yellow ochre color. The colors in the palette don't have names, or as far as I know, they don't have names. So I just went in with that, and then I went in with a darker brown because I didn't want her skin to just be like yellow. Which, whatever. I don't know, when I first started, I didn't feel that comfortable like mixing colors, so I went with the approach of simply layering them on top of each other. So I built up the yellow as much as I could, and then I went in with the brown to add in the low lights, the shadows. So yeah, I tried my best I could with that. I don't know if that's right, I don't know if that's a bad thing to do, but that's just what I thought I should do, so that's what I did. As far as shading and blending go, I really try my best to render the image as much as I could. Going into this piece, I knew that it wasn't going to be a strictly watercolor only one medium piece. I just knew that's not me as an artist, and I knew I wasn't going to do that anyways. So why am I holding the brush like that? Whatever. So I knew it wasn't going to be a one medium piece. I knew it wasn't going to be only watercolors, but I tried to render out as many details and as much shading as I possibly could with the watercolors, because that's what I wanted this video to be about. And I knew I was going to use colored pencils. I knew I was going to use my brush pen. I knew I was going to use all that stuff, but I had it in my head the entire time. I was trying very hard not to use those other mediums that I'm more comfortable with as a crutch. Because I know that a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with this, but I just didn't want to do that for today. I see myself doing this in the future, but today I really, really wanted to try to make the piece about the watercolor. And I know how I would probably use them in the future, and how a lot of other people use them, is laying down flat washes of color and then rendering the shadows and the highlights with colored pencil. But I really wanted to try to not do that. And I wanted to try and blend, and I wanted to see myself kind of go through that learning curve. So now you can see me going in with the lips. This is actually a watercolor as well. It's just significantly less diluted than the other layers that I was applying. So I put virtually like no water. I put just enough water to make the paint move fluidly. So as you can see, I'm going in with the shirt as well. I'm not sure if it was just this color or if it was the way that I was using the watercolors, but it seemed that this red color was a little bit splotchy on the shirt. I ended up going over the lips later with something else to kind of make it look even, but even the shirt, I wanted to keep it watercolor, but it was tempting to cover it up because of how it was kind of a little patchy. But I think that might have been due to a lot of things, like maybe I was using too thick of layers, because it doesn't seem very patchy with anything else like the skin or anything, and if it was, it's due to my lack of skill in blending. Like the actual colors didn't go on blotchy or anything. Yeah, so that spot on her cheek, I don't know what happened. I think I like scratched the page or something, and then the actual pigment clung to that spot. So yeah, I don't know, kind of ruined it, kind of didn't, whatever. You win some, you lose some. So my approach for the hair, at least, was to lay down kind of a flat wash of color. It wasn't that flat because I had to, I don't know, the way I paint, I was trying to paint around a face, and like it looks a little patchy because I was trying to paint around a face, so I was kind of doing it in sections, so it doesn't look as flat or as smooth as a wash could be. But whatever. I went in with a wash of mostly diluted paint, and then I went in with significantly less diluted paint and kind of went in with the lowlights and for a second layer, and then left open where I thought the highlights would be with the original layer. So you'll see what I'm doing. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but you'll see what's going on. So I'm kind of leaving the spots where I think that the light source would be hitting open with the original layer of paint. So yeah, that's my strategy for the hair. So I tried to keep a lot of this footage in because I wanted it to be, I don't know, I wanted my trial and error and my mistakes and everything to be seen, because I don't know, it was my first time. Like, that's like the point of this video, you know. So I didn't want to cut out too much of the watercolor portion, even though to me well, I don't know, as an artist, like the finishing touches are when it starts to actually look good. So I want to keep more of that footage in, but that's not what this video is for. So I tried to keep most of the watercolor footage in, and then kind of, you know, cut down and, you know, splice out a lot of the footage of the other mediums that I end up using, while still showing you guys, you know, what ended up happening and whatnot. So here I start going in with my Prismacolor color pencils. As you can see, I tried to render in as much as I could, but I went in with the color pencil to make it look a little bit more texture, a little bit more, I don't know, it just looked better. I don't know, I seen people do it, so I did it. I don't know. So yeah, it helped a lot. I try not to do too much because I still want it to be a watercolor piece. I do, you know, like I said, my opinion about watercolors before was that they're not really the medium for me, but I honestly I kind of changed my mind a little bit after trying them. I really liked the way that it layered with the colored pencils. Though I didn't use too much here, I would like to get more practice with my colored pencils, and I think that watercolor would give me that opportunity. And also I would like to experiment with doing those flat washes like I was saying earlier, and just kind of rendering a lot more with the colored pencils, because I use colored pencils here and there, but not very good. I would say. But yeah, just to mention it, here I'm going in with acrylic paint and filling in the background, because I wanted the background to be super opaque so that she would stand out from it, because she has so much texture. I wanted the background to be very, very flat and for her to be rendered. You know what? I didn't know that the watercolor paints would lift when you put acrylic on top of it. I didn't know that. I guess, I don't know. I guess I have heard of like lifting techniques, but I didn't know that acrylics would do it. I don't really know. Whatever. So I did my flat background, flat like teal color, and now I'm going in with some lines. This is gouache, this is gold gouache, and I am just going in with these lines that I had drawn in my sketchbook. So I'm gonna put them back in with some gold, and I think that it really added to the piece, and I wanted to do it, so I did it. I don't know, but yeah. So here's in the final touches stage of the painting or the illustration. So yeah, I'm just putting these in. I was concentrating very, very hard. This footage looks like it's in real time. It's actually sped up twice as fast. I was just moving that slow because I really didn't want to mess up these lines. So yeah, I did that just on the outside of her, like some expression lines. It kind of makes her look like she's dancing or something, which is really cool. I guess it's up to interpretation of whoever is looking at the piece. So then I'm going in with my brush pens. All of the art supplies that I always use and in this video are used will be linked down below. Don't worry about it. So if you see anything that you like or you want to try, or even if you want to try these watercolors, they will be in the description, so you will be able to find them. Yeah, so yeah, I had a good experience with these watercolors. I will use them again, I think. I don't know what for. I have to have a vision for them and understand more of what to do with them, and I want to try them more as well. I want to try and do, I don't know what I want to try to do. It has to come to me. But yeah, I do want to use these again. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed trying. I really like the way that her chest turned out. It actually looks like she's like facing another way, but her head is turned toward the, not the camera, but the front. And I like the way that I put the lines in her neck and her chest in order to emulate that, and I like how I was able to render that with the watercolors. So I like these for humans. Why am I saying it like that? I don't know. I like these for people and their skin because you can play. I'm imagining that you can play with a lot of different undertones here because of the layering techniques, and you can kind of figure out where you want to go with a piece as you go, and it gives you a lot more freedom because, well, not particularly because you kind of need to know where you're going because the underlayers are going to shine through, but you do have the opportunity to take it in different directions, is what I'm saying. Now I'm putting in the final touches with my white gel pen and a Posca pen to give her some lip gloss and some highlights and all of that fun stuff. You know, I always have my super highlighted eyes. Her eyes, she looks so kooky. This is such a different character for me. Like, her eyes are so big, and yeah, I really like this, and maybe I just like it because it's something different, but I'm really happy with this piece, and especially it being my first time using watercolors. I had a lot of fun with it. I would recommend getting these, I guess. I don't know anything about watercolors. Okay, video's done. Alright, I'll see you guys next Friday. I hope you guys liked it. Bye bye.